where it's going to go. They haven't played yet at this international, that is. So we'll see where they'll end up with. And we got a Dark Willow picked up on the side of Team Liquid, and we should know where that's going to go. Because so far it's only been Boxy that plays it, and I don't know, I mean, has Mickey been playing it? Should we consider it? Oh, speaking of disruption, that's the real disruptor right there.
Yeah, and this is the joy of when you have like a little mini meta developing in it between a team, right? Spirit takes the Weaver away from Liquid, and now it's like, okay, what's the counter to Weaver? And sure, currently, Disruptor's not played at all, but it's an old school counter to Weaver. When he Sakuchi's in, throw down that Static Storm, contain him with that Kinetic, and then on top of that, you go for a Willow, which in laning phase, the routes, the ways to prevent Weaver from just freely Sakuchiing, he's going to have to think a little bit more as he moves around. Both supports are going to be quite potent for the Weaver, but if you go with Matu's point, then if there is a little bit of disguise in this Weaver, then you've just picked two supports to do nothing to potentially a 4-position Weaver, if that is Spirit's inevitable angle.
We'll see. We don't know yet, right?
Holding.
I just feel like Disruptor, Willow, Brewmaster would be an open invitation for myself to pick Faces Forward, or like another hard carry that doesn't really care about these heroes. I mean, Weaver does, to an extent, care about them. So.
Why Faceless Void? Is it the BKB timing that makes him?
Yeah, I mean, so like Weaver is not a natural BKB hero, although you will buy it eventually, but I feel like a hero that goes earlier BKB will just like, okay, I mean, we have these heroes that do absolutely nothing to me.
That's fair, yeah. I can see like the Liquid approach of we're going to hit level 6 Disruptor and we'll just run at Faceless Void over and over and over again that could be abused, but yeah, that BKB timing would put an easy stop to that.
Yeah, I will say Disruptor fits very well in the story that we've been telling so far about which team is doing better, because we've been saying, you know, whichever team gets ahead on the laning stage is going to do well, and they're going to play very safe and get further ahead before they eventually close the game out. And Disruptor is considered to be the best hero to play when you're ahead from the laning stage. It also comes with the caveat that if you're behind on the laning stage, the hero sucks.
Yeah, you're a hero that wants to play forwards, right? And a little bit of Tiny. I mean, again, a cool little combo with Grimstroke, but going back to the Disruptor, it does help when you're playing with a Brewmaster, because Brew will always set up the vision for you to get that glimpse to find those opportunities. So it shouldn't be a difficult game to see Insania pop off and drag heroes back. And a Ricky. No one saw that one coming.
Aha! Jesus, how long have you been sitting on that?
I had about 12 sides in the arena, so that made me happy.
That is most definitely going to be a Ricky mid against Invoker.
Yep.
That's one of the most old school counters. If you can have a goofy counter against Invoker, that would be Ricky on the mid lane.
Yeah, and it kind of further cements the point where this Disruptor, he's got a Ricky to play on, a Brew to play on. There's a lot of just natural aggression coming out that it's going to be very forward-thinking. I think like a Diffusal Blade from Ricky, and yeah, you keep going. Now the question is, what's the carry for Liquid to keep this kind of train of thought?
I want to talk more about the Tiny, because I don't understand where he's going.
Me neither, but we're not supposed to. We're supposed to watch it.
It's just going to be like a Weaver carry,
it could just
and then just support Tiny Grim.
Yeah, I think Tiny could be 4 here in this situation with Invoker mid, Weaver carry. There's also the scenario where we've seen Invoker support, we've seen Invoker mid, we've seen Weaver support, we've seen it core, we've seen Tiny mid. Technically all 3 of these heroes have a case to be somewhere they shouldn't really be, but I'd like to see maybe just Weaver carry, Tiny support probably.
Now that we know that Ricky's mid though, wouldn't you put a different hero rather than Invoker mid? If Ricky is such a good matchup against that, is Tiny Ricky better for the side of Team Spirit?
That's also a potential argument, putting the Tiny mid, pushing the Weaver to a different role, because you don't want to have your Weaver carry be jumped by the Ricky. And then, yeah, there's a lot of answers that Spirit need to find here, but
it just complicates things for Team Spirit a lot. Now they have to like move roles, heroes everywhere. Like, can they even make sense of all of it in the end? Like, what is this supposed to be now?
Yeah, they've got like less than a minute reserve time plus their pick time.
They have 2 seconds in reserve time.
A lot of reserve
I will
time.
tell you that one. That is, yeah. And I mean, on the side of Team Liquid, they're running out. They have 5 seconds left. They ban out 2 tanky heroes in the Centaur and the Tidehunter. They're expecting Team Spirit still to need a hero for Collapse as they pick up the Spectre themselves.
This is so good. This is literally completely perfects what I was imagining of the draft from Liquid. You're playing with a vision-giving hero in the Ricky. You're playing with a global core that can join like Spectre. You're playing with 2 supports that are absolutely fantastic at taking advantage of that vision. Like, you're going to be playing on these side lanes really hard, playing like catch and kill, basically. And it's so easy for all the heroes to come together.
Oh, okay.
Matu, you're a Night Stalker specialist.
I do love the hero, but I don't see the angle here. To be quite honest, I don't see why it's picked now. I combos well Grim, that's all I can say about that, really. So
Potentially, it's another answer to the Brewmaster. So it's like you keep killing off the Brew, you keep hunting him, but...
now that I think of it, it gives free, like Spectre gives free lane for Night Stalker.
Yes.
Night Stalker biggest problem is getting out of the laning phase. So in that sense, it's good.
All right. Guys, we will have a support Invoker and Lara on the Tiny, but I'm most curious to hear what Blitz has to say about what he's up against.
That's right, I'm joined by a Blitz for this game number 3 of Team Liquid, where I'm left scratching my head, man. Disruptor shows up. It's only been picked twice this tournament. Both of them were Whitemon on TSM, and you're whipping it out here. What's this hero doing?
Did the games win? Did they win?
It went 50%.
I don't like those odds.
Not a coin flipper.
No, not really. That felt kind of bad. I didn't want to hear that. I mean, I don't know. It's TI. Some random heroes come in the pool. Like, there's an NS and there's a Ricky mid. Like, just life happens. You know, it's just a funny draft, so we'll see what happens.
What a crazy life you lead, Blitz. So there's the Night Stalker and the Tiny as well. I feel like you guys are just developing your own meta because Game 1 looked like team fight out of you. Didn't really work out. Game 2 was tempo, and it worked out well. Here, it seems like you're reverting back to team fight.
Take this time.
I didn't want to hear that either. No, that just sounds rough.
Blitz, you're the expert here, not me.
I don't know. We're just going in there. We're picking heroes. We're hoping for the best. We're not thinking about this like tempo stuff. You know, they're a really scary team.
You know, I just did an interview with Silent, and I was like, wow, you guys are considered the favorites. And he's like, I don't know. I don't really think we're the favorites. You know, everyone we beaten is eliminated. Can one of you have some confidence?
I firmly believe that maybe they'll beat us. I don't know. It's like a 50-50.
Let's send it to game number 3.
Very humble boy indeed, Mr. Cinderman. We got game number 3 underway in this upper bracket matchup, and winner of this gets top 3 at this TI.
Yep.
A lot on the line here, a lot of prestige.
And if there's anything you want in your determining game to get top 3, it is mid Ricky. That has got to be the thing, and you pick Disruptor. Yeah, I love this. You know, this is, to me, is one of the most interesting parts of Dota, is when you go into deep tournament runs, when the weird picks start coming out because you start playing some 7D chess against each other. I feel like Blitz is keeping his cards kind of close. I don't think they were just, I guess we're picking this now. This looks fun. We're just trying our best, you know.
There's definitely a plan, but
there's probably a little bit more depth to it than that, but he obviously doesn't want to share that, which is that's to be expected. And that leaves us to try to make sense of the whole thing. So I think the Disruptor was picked into Weaver and Grimstroke. Glimpse is an amazing spell against Weaver, so that's probably why they got inspired to pick it, but also the Static Storm combination, right? And you have a really good pairing with the Brewmaster because you can Cyclone to catch someone, and then you can drop them down into a Static Storm Kinetic Field combination. So it's essentially a guaranteed setup for Disruptor. I think that's part of what they're looking for. The mid-Ricky seems to be a solution that multiple teams have tried to run against Invoker, but the Invoker will just be relegated to position 4 here. And the Night Stalker, yeah, that one's the most curious one for me. Is it literally just, the safe lane is Spectre, so we can play a greedier, weaker lane hero that can play tempo later? Or is there some more depth? Because, I mean, yeah, the silence against the Brewmaster is nice, but this doesn't strike me as like an obviously incredible Night Stalker game. Maybe when he gets BKB.
I like how you're trying to break this down as much as possible. And the real simple answer for everybody out there for Ricky mid, it's either going to look really good or really bad. There's pretty much no in between. So if you're a Liquid fan, we'll see how that goes. I mean, this is upper bracket, so you can throw out some curveballs, right? You still have an extra life to work with.
That is true. But this is just not, this isn't even in my top 10 heroes I think of when I hear
Taro might actually die here.
Yes.
He slims back and down he goes. First blood for Liquid. That's why they picked Ricky, because he wasn't there at all.
Yes.
Because
he was cheering them on from mid, and that gave them a morale.
You're expecting Ricky to never be there.
Yeah, Taro did get the rune, so it was a a 3-rune trade-off for first blood. I think that's relatively even. It's mainly about how impactful the experience is going to be for the heroes that pick that up. Like getting a faster level 2 in a lane could maybe lead to a secondary kill, and then all of a sudden it's really good. But the Weaver is going to be, I think, quite tough for them to kill in this bottom lane.
Well, another hero we haven't really talked about is Tiny for Mr. Laurel, and that would be the mid lane. I have missed this as a core so much. Why do they pick it here?
Yeah, who knows? I think they don't even know themselves by the... Judging from the interviews, we're just looking at the... Like, what do you want to play today, buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to play for top 3 TI? Oh, okay. I guess you can play Ricky, Nisha.
Well, comfort picks, I suppose.
I think what Tiny does offer in this game is he's a really good assassination partner together with Grimstroke. So if you jump some of these more frail heroes, like Ricky has a relatively low HP pool and can't really use his spells during the Avalanche Toss combo, you can kill the supports very easily. Both Willow and Disruptor kind of die if they get jumped by a Tiny with Inkswell on him. And you have a little bit of an extra thing that I don't want to overlook too much in this game. I think Mira can have a relatively big impact on Invoker with a level in Sunstrike. Just 1 point after the change to how Sunstrike scales with Exort, it does a lot of damage level 1. Probably not going to see him skill it right now, but it could be an earlier thing in the game than we see a lot of it.
Early aggression, Boxy taking a brunt of a lot of damage from Spirit. Zai trying to keep Yatoro at bay. Oh, more right clicks, Boxy barely survives. Yatoro not able to get close enough to use that Inkswell to full effect, but still definitely directing a lot of damage Liquid's way.
But yeah, Grim Weaver is a very strong lane against Brewmaster in particular. It seems like the Weaver was a direct counter pick when they saw this come out from Liquid as their overall first choice of the game. We'll see how Zai manages to deal with what should be a very unfavorable matchup in that bot lane. And it only gets worse, because when Grimstroke and Weaver both hit level 3, it just ramps up to 11 very fast. Tornado.
Cold Snap Tornado onto Insania. Decent amount of damage. And Collapse, of course, it is daytime, so he is half a hero at the moment.
Yeah, he's running double bracers against a weak lane, though, so he's just going to farm. I don't think they can really stop him from getting CS in this lane. At the same time, though, it's probably also not the worst lane matchup for Mickey either. Minute 5, it's going to get tricky, because Invoker Nightstalker suddenly transforms into a monster lane. But for the time being, pretty good. Nice little play there with the glimpse from Insane to earn him.
Beautifully done. Very gorgeous. Shot.
Wait, Collapse actually got it because of the Cold Snap. Nicely done there. Spirit. Thought the glimpse was going to earn them a Lotus, but didn't.
We'll see how effective this Night Stalker is going to be. This is not a hero we see all too often these days. There was a time for it, of course, back in your day, many years ago.
Yeah.
It was a mid hero.
When's the last time we've seen Night Stalker mid in this? I don't know if we've seen it in pro game in this pack.
Blood Grenade there. Inkswell as well. Yatoro gets credit for that one.
This lane is so nasty because as soon as Willow uses Brambles, if they either don't connect or expire on the lane, Brewmaster is just defenseless. You're literally just Shikuchi in with... You drop the Swarm, you Shikuchi in, you Inkswell level 2 on the Weaver, and he just runs on top of him, and Willow can do nothing but look as her Brewmaster just inevitably dies. So very tough matchup here. You sign up for this when you first pick Brew in this patch. Teams are starting to figure out how to really deal with this guy in lane, and yeah, Zai is already trailing by about 1,000 behind Yatoro, so pretty much the entire net worth lead of the Radiant side is in this lane. And in the meantime, silently, 12 denies top for Night Stalker. So laning stage going very, very well for Spirit in this one.
Yeah, mid lane relatively close on CS, a little bit more on the deny side for the Spirit side. Tiny D, the Ricky. I mean, were you expecting this to be any different? Like, I know it's not traditional mid at all.
Yeah, I don't really have much experience to draw upon here, but I would
sure
think
there's a lot of games you can look in turbo mode that are probably the matchup.
I mean, instinctively, I would say this is probably a slightly better lane for Tiny, but Ricky floats quite a lot of lanes, especially against melee heroes, so I guess it's kind of just going to be a wash. And the most important thing for both teams, really, is that their mid laners start getting involved in some sort of correct action. But Ricky is an awkward mid laner in that respect because he doesn't truly unlock his rotations until he gets Diffusal Blade. If you compare that to a hero like Pango, who also goes Diffusal, well, Pango has a lot more to offer before he's before his Diffusal comes out. Ricky has these 2 little jumps that do some damage, but it's not Pangolier tier.
Collapse now can bully a bit, thanks to it being nighttime. And Spirit, you can see, already has a slight advantage in the laning stage. His bottom lane, Yatoro taking heavy damage, applying as much pressure as he can to Zai's gonna take a Thunderclap, pop the one to stay alive. Yatoro does end up getting the kill, but the damage coming out from Boxy in that Shadow Realm, just too much to handle, so it ends up being a 1-for-1.
Yeah, half a second left in the Shikuchi there, so nice for Liquid to find that trade. That was very close to just being one-sided.
Have a toss from Laurel. He's level 6 first. Not that either of these ults are going to be that crazy in lane.
It does offset. I mean, at this point, Ricky should be getting out CS by Gruul, right? Like now, the damage discrepancy is so big that Laurel should get more or less every CS that he wants. He will not be lucky enough to get the rune, though, as that is being covered by Miposhka, who has to crumble. Okay.
He gets the double damage. He's going to get stunned. Do they have the vision? The sentry just in range, and down goes Nisha.
Yeah,
Very greedy.
Did he have vision of them there on his observer? That must have been pretty close to seeing the Grim. Maybe he was just outside the range there, so he thought that he could just tricks down and take that rune. So nicely played from Miposhka, just being slightly on the right side there. Counterplaying that. That's a big kill. That's top 3 net worths in this side, in favor now of Team Spirit.
Another ink spell. Miposhka. Man, the change to this spell is going to cost Miposhka life.
Really deep for this.
He will die, but Grimstroke as a whole
Yeah.
changes absolutely insane what you can do with just having that as a toggleable or whatever you want to call it. Just being able to activate it whenever.
Not really sure what the plan there was from Miposhka. If he was trying to zone out the Willow and then maybe steal the Wisdom Rune, but at this level that is very unlikely to work. Ends up getting punished and killed by the Ricky. As Insania takes a little bit of space mid. So Disruptor as a support, not the strongest laner, and very level dependent. So when you're playing this as a Thor, if he falls too far behind, it's rough. So nice for him to get a bit of space.
Gonna get silenced, tossed up into the air. Inkswell is there as well. That's 2 deaths on the mid Ricky. Yatoro gone on by Zai and Boxy, but he has the Shikuchi to get enough distance away. Not looking so great for Liquid so far. We talked about this Ricky potentially being either amazing or terrible. So far, it's on the latter side, Syndra. Still early, though.
Yeah, but the hero, the way it works, right, is that...
It is snowballing.
Yeah, if it does fall behind, it can very easily become a liability, especially given the matchups that it has. Get caught by Night Stalker Silence, probably dead. Get comboed by Tiny. We've already seen that a couple times, so gotta be very, very careful if you're Nisha here.
Boshka, oh, nice tricks of the trade to dodge out the Inkswell. Nisha will get a kill as a result. Collapse going onto the Spectre. Ricky's in a lot of trouble. Down he goes. Big kill for Spirit again.
Yeah, Liquid had both of their supports mid there trying to get the additional kill onto Laurel, but that was just not going to happen. Ricky, when you've expended both your Blink Strikes to kill the first hero, that's kind of the end of the play. Like, there's nothing more to be gained. And Spirit immediately identify that this hero positioning from Liquid is punishable, and they jump on that spec. Mid lane, Nisha, good smoke screen.
They have the damage here.
Trouble here if he gets out.
Blink Strike onto the creep wave. We're going to see a primal split from Zai, who's shown up. Miposhka's going to die. And if they can take out Laurel, this would be a very needed kill for Liquid. It looks like they'll do just that. Avalanche is going to provide a little bit of space, but nobody has come to his aid. So down goes the Tiny. Good use of I believe that's the first primal split of the game from Zai.
Now, that looked like Spirit were actually going to cause some trouble for Nisha with a sentry into Silence, but he jumped away in time. Now, Boxy.
Crippling Fear, just so
He's gonna live for now.
Boxy.
And now he's going to die.
Yes, he will.
No, it was technically correct. He did live for now. It's just a very short amount of time.
Now is a very short duration of time for you.
I mean, now, yeah.
And everyone. Limps back into the kinetic field. Mickey going to get some right click. Stop trying to TP out. Nisha's here as well, but too much damage onto Collapse. So the mid Ricky is getting involved a bit now, Syndra.
I'm loving the rotations in this game. Both teams are playing very, very... It's just beautiful Dota, you know, they're rotating very well around each other. They're bringing the right numbers to get the kills. You can very clearly tell that both teams kind of have identified that in this game, that style is what's going to be...
And Zai's going to get caught out by the Avalanche. Inkswell to follow. It's just a perma-stun with the toss. Just incredible.
Nicky is probably in trouble too here, maybe.
Silenced. Laura continues to pursue. Does not have the Avalanche quite yet.
He's dead.
Karo's there with the Shikuchi, and down goes another core for Liquid. And all they lose on the Spirit side is the support, at least for now. Tricks the trade. Nisha A blink strike away as Laurel getting relatively low, so Nisha can try to finish this off. Insania getting some right clicks before it's inevitable end, and they're able to take out Laurel in the end, which is much needed for them as well as Yatoro. Time lapses to get some HP back, looking for Insania. A couple more right clicks are enough. Puts down his ult, but it's not going to do that much. Smoke screen a little bit too late as well. Attempted TP from Yatoro. The damage not there. Yatoro lives. He does it again, Cinder.
That was so close in so many ways. The TP was close, the smoke screen was close to connecting. I don't know if Insania had kinetic field ready and he could have maybe got it off too, but it's like he died almost instantly after getting the static storm off. So very, very marginal situations here in this game, and you love to see it. You know, a lot of the games in this patch have started getting a little bit slower, a little bit more static. Both teams are all over the place. Like, they're just roaming. Essentially 4 heroes on each team, if not even all 5, have started being involved all around the map. And it's makes the game very unpredictable, and you really got to stay on your toes if you're both teams. You know you can't just sit back and chill, because the next move is coming for you at any moment. And I wonder who the next target's going to be. The big winner in all of this has to be Nisha, right? He's almost got Diffusal. He's top net worth. We talked about Ricky not falling behind being important, and that has definitely been accomplished here by Liquid. So that Diffusal will be arriving now on the Courier, and they're instantly going to put it to use with a smoke. Maybe looking to find Collapse if they can.
And remember, Ricky, with that ult, gets extra XP for kills and assists. So the fact that he was roaming around a lot has helped his game tremendously. Level 10 right now. Looking for another, but Collapse can kind of feel it. It is daytime again. Yatoro has his Dragon Lance, going to be going for the Deso, so Laurel, he's going to be spotted. Static Storm inside that kinetic field. Mickey's here as well. Do they have the damage to take out Laurel? He's going to get glimpsed back into Zai's arms, but that Thunderclap is going to get tossed away, though. Already lost their Grimstroke to start. The Primal Split is there from Zai. They take out Laurel. So 2 big kills for Liquid. They're going to lose their Dark Willow in the process. Is Yatoro coming with the Shikuchi as well? Swarm onto several heroes. This is going to be a lot of damage if they don't take this off. As Collapse getting pursued now by Mickey, going to get glimpsed back and will die on the cliff. As Insania gets right-clicked down into Oblivion by Yatoro, attempting to TP out again. Can he do it again? Yes! How many times is he going to get away with this?
He does make some clutch escapes, but Liquid's still taking some good fights. I do favor that result for them until this happens. If Ricky dies, it's pretty...
Silence, so no tricks to the trade quite yet. Ixwell's there, they have the damage.
Now that is huge, because that's basically bigger than the rest of the fight combined almost. Laurel getting the last hit there is going to allow him to pick up a Blink Dagger, and that is the game changer, because now these Inkswell into Blink Dagger combinations come into play. You can one-shot kill either support, and maybe even Ricky. I think it's kind of close, but he might die, especially if they get 1 point in Exort on Mira. Hasn't opted to go for it so far in level 7. We've seen some support invokers get a value point when they're playing with a lot of stuns, and this was one of those games that it could come into play, but still holding on to a 3-4 build.
Mickey will have that Blade Mail very shortly. Going to be going for the Radiance build as well, so we'll be starting that now, essentially. Anisha has his Diffusal. Going for the Manta next.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If you can find anything here, as this tower has not even been touched yet, so...
And I guess in comparison to the... Okay.
Okay, Yatoro. Nisha's going to find him.
Well...
And he's going to watch him go through the gate.
I can't really do much about that one. I guess in comparison to the other games in this series, Collapse has been quieter, right? And they did pick his hero last, so the question is, when is this big payoff going to come from this Night Stalker? He's currently 1-2-2.
Oh, Nisha. Oh, the sentry's placed.
Oh, the
smoke screen. Shadow Realm is going to provide a little bit of cover for Boxy. Gets up a nice Terrorize onto 2 as well. He will likely die in the process, but this saves his Ricky mid. Mr. Nisha will survive as a result of this. It will cost him a tier 1 tower, though. This is the first rotation, and Laurel showing off the Blink now for the first time.
Yeah. Blinked immediately when he got smoke screen, so Nisha didn't get to get an instance of damage on him. Could have changed things, perhaps. And they will claim that tower, as you said. Liquid trying to get a little bit of a trade down bottom, but don't really have the same pushing prowess in their lineup. Their lineup's actually just flat out really bad at taking towers, aside from Brew, right? That's the one hero that will get that done.
But he's so good, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he has to commit his ult to get it done, though. Okay, Zai.
Primal Split is there. Nado's going to provide some cover, but will be surrounded and eventually brought down.
That's a Shadow Step and a Primal Split.
Mira does that.
They also find Miposhka.
Another support kill. Going the way of Liquid, so take out both of them from Spirit's side. And Laurel without a support, not really comfortable going in for any kind of initiation. Level 10 right now. Zai has that Midas, by the way. So getting some extra levels on the Brew. Pretty normal pickup from this. Sometimes you see like something before that.
I think Liquid have to be a bit careful here. Maybe they're stepping.
Avalanche onto 2 from Laurel. Static Storm being applied though on the other side of the fight is collapsed. Taking a lot of damage. He's completely isolated himself and he will drop. Big kill for Liquid.
All right, that looked like it was going to get scary with the TPs coming in and Laurel having the blink angle, but it happened to Liquid went in time.
Right into the smoke screen. Nisha is going to find Mira. Is going to dodge the Avalanche as well. As Mickey looking to finish the job in the Invoker. Now Laurel completely getting, well, he's actually going to live now thanks to the support coming in from the south of this side of the map. Mickey looks like he's going to opt to dodge this fight entirely. Another TP out from Liquid. The Shadow Realm TP with the high fives, but the Avalanche is there, so Spirit do get one.
It's a buyback from Collapse, so that's honestly an awesome outcome for Liquid. I thought that was going to get really scary. They're frontlining their Brewmaster without Primal Split. They're starting to TP in heroes. Tiny's finding an angle for Avatos, but Liquid found the jump first and already started the move before the rotations came in. And they managed to get out with all of their cores intact. And the buyback from Nightstalker is going to set him back a bit. Collapse once again being slowed down. Very curious how he's going to itemize in this game, right? Because we talked about Crippling Fear being really good against certain heroes, so a lot of the time you want to buy Blink, but I just think there's too many problems. If you blink in, you can get glimpsed away, you can get caught in Static Storm.
Oh boy, dead. Another big kill for Liquid as Laurel will get dropped in his own jungle. Miposhka next. Double kill for Mickey. And Liquid starting to mount a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a lead for themselves in this deciding game number 3.
Nisha he is running the map right now. Spirit have to be very, very cautious about how they move their heroes and bring detection and just try to find a kill on this Riki. Otherwise, Nisha will just keep this reign of terror going. Mid tower's gone. Zai will claim that. So that is, what does he have coming out right now?
I believe it's a pipe.
Full pipe? Oh my goodness, he is stacked already. This is going to be super difficult for Spirit to fight into. Their lineup's almost exclusively magic damage right now. So as long as Zai doesn't get EMP'd,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
can have a huge impact with that item here.
And Mira in the cover of darkness here. In this tier 2 tower. As Zion Company is starting to invade the jungle of Spirit's side. Not that far off from Radiance for Mickey. Has that Sacred Relic. So there's one more component to go. There's Laurel, it's going to be spotted. If they have the damage this time, he is surrounded, but Miposhka's on the south side. He's stuck inside that kinetic field right now. Static Storm to follow as well, completely surrounded by this Primal Spirit. Brewlings. It ends up being a very easy kill for Liquid. Anytime this Brew Split is online, it feels like it's just a kill. And now Mira's going to get spotted, stunned up as well. There's a smoke screen onto 2. Down goes the Invoker. Soulbind is there though. Yatoro trying to clean up on the backside. Not able to even get the support. Has to time lapse back. Yatoro continue on here. They are able to find Nisha.
Oh, that's a great tornado.
Onto several heroes. Yatoro looks like they're able to take out Zai now. And the rest of Liquid now on the run. Inkswell a little bit too late.
I'll say Mira's tornadoes this game have been borderline perfect, honestly. There's been so many situations where he's hitting 2 or 3 heroes, and a lot of them he's throwing it in a path where it could end up clipping nobody, but he gets them on like both outer edges. This one was more like a straightforward one. Oh well.
All right.
That was a long chase. He got there in the end though.
Going to the ends of the earth. Position 5.
That was another buyback from Spirit though, so they end up paying again to get themselves a pretty good trade. This one feels more worth it though. This time they got the Riki out. It was a very big kill. The kill bounty for that one being claimed by Yatoro, and he also claimed Insania basically solo.
Yatoro in a bit of trouble, does not have mana for his ult inside that smoke screen. Down he goes. Liquid find Mira in addition. Nisha, double kill for him.
Yeah, this Bedlam,
Not too far away from Manta.
Bedlam on Ricky is dirty. He's just going in, he's throwing out all his stuff, tricks of the trade, and essentially just killing people from just from beyond, you know, he's not even targetable. That Willow extra burst is very, very helpful there. That's big.
Well, it sounds like we have a nice listen in here. See what they have to say.
Nisha's matters a lot. Fucking Nisha, dude. My fucking carry.
Okay, well, very
insightful.
eloquent.
Very insightful. Thank you, Mickey, for that.
Very nice. As Zai trying to take out the Tormentor.
He'll get there in the end, surely. Oh,
He might die in the process.
Oh,
Not
my.
careful.
Oh.
Run away, Zai! Torby's got some revenge planned here because you keep ignoring him. And Nisha wants a high five from a building.
Yay, Bedlam
There we
did
go.
it.
Eventually they find it. Spirit as well. Laurel gets the shard. Interesting. And Insania gets it for the side of Liquid. So they already have 4 shards on Spirit again.
Yep. I mean, they have some very good ones to buy, right? Stroke, Weaver, Night Stalker, all want to buy it. So not really surprising that this one can go to Laurel. It's going to be nice for farming, right? Now he has infinite tree grab, but yeah, I guess they would. Maybe they would have rather had the Invoker one if they got to choose themselves. The EMP pull plus bigger damage is pretty damn nice in a game like this with how just high chaotic non-stop fighting is going on. But if things slow down a little bit, the tiny one will also be very helpful. Laurel is starting to work on a BKB. It seems inevitable that all cores on the Radiant side have to buy this item. There's just too many problems. Ricky is an issue, Static Storm, Willow, Brewmaster, all of it is insane control. Collapse, gonna get spotted.
Inside the smoke.
That is
will just try to
not
PG. Very ambitious.
Yeah.
He's gonna die 70 seconds. Tier 2 tower looks to be Liquid's to claim. Fortification's there though.
That's a dieback too. So, you know, wonder if Liquid are gonna think about a potential Roche here. You know, you're in the right side of the map. Your lineup is not the greatest at it. Obviously, if Spectre had a Manta, it would be a lot easier. He still at least has 4 points in Desolate, which makes it a lot faster than...
Yeah, their lineup is pretty garbage at it. I mean, Ricky does a decent amount, I guess, if you can keep the aggro off.
Yep. It works. And now, okay, this was something I was thinking about the other day. Now, Nisha is going Axe on Ricky. What happens if you put Bedlam on him and he jumps into a hero? Does the Bedlam then follow that hero? It should, logically, right?
Yeah, it should.
Maybe it will crash the game. Let's hope that's not the case.
Don't worry, we have a backup, I'm sure. We'll just start a turbo mode game if that ends up crashing it.
Well, if we do a turbo mode game, that's probably going to be like this one was anyway, right? Oh, close on the glimpse there. Insania just barely got away. Miposhka there.
Now, what if Rubik was on the other end of all that?
Oh.
That actually might crash. There's one employee at Valve, the janitor. His entire job is to clean up all the issues with Rubik.
I think they have 5 people employed full time to make Rubik and Morphling work in Dota is...
Yeah, true.
It was a choice.
They regret it, I'm sure. Nisha, okay, we have a step onto Miposhka. He looks to be very dead.
Oh, wait, they got it.
Weaver in a lot of trouble.
It's okay.
Okay, looks like Ricky's going to stay alive here. Terrorize is there, not really clipping too many heroes as Nisha gets off the smoke screen again, but the right clicks are way too much from Yatoro, who actually will live through this engagement. It's Collapse now, taking a Spectral Dagger, nice Tornado onto 2. Zai is there with that Primal Split available. Mira going to go in, Viz, just going for a D-Ward, knowing that he is likely dead. So 2 for 1, but favor, I mean, it's 2 supports for the mid Ricky.
That team fight is basically the perfect example of how important BKB is going to be for the rest of the game. Yatoro is able to take the fight to Nisha, just pops the BKB, knows that nothing is going to kill him for a while, and they do get that pretty big kill, but still solid sequence from Liquid once again. They're up 4K, they have Spectre. We know how fierce this hero can be late game. This is the same matchup that we saw in a previous game in this series with the Spectre versus Weaver. I say previous game, that was literally the previous one. Just that this time the Spectre team is the one that's ahead. So that matchup is going to be very, very different.
Primal Split used there, by the way. That's a big cooldown. 2 full minutes now without that. We'll see if Spirit try to capitalize as BKB for Laurel is there. Finally, the Manta comes through on Mickey, so he's got the Radiance Manta. And Zai going for, I mean, a lot of times we see the Brewmaster go for Radiance, but probably don't want to, so just going for the auras.
Oh, this is an interesting choice here coming out from Spirit.
They're being scanned out.
Yeah, that was an
Liquid
instant
knows.
scan. But no brew split makes this very difficult for Liquid to do anything about, so as much as I said that's interesting, it's actually a kind of obvious play now that I think about it.
You're right, it's not interesting. It's the least interesting thing you've ever said, probably.
It's very, very straightforward. And they will grab it. Who does the Aegis go to? It will be a Taro. Unsurprisingly. Also very uninteresting that they put it on hit. That was what you could have expected.
You're really on a roll today. Very uninteresting commentary.
Oh, I try. So let's see, what big items do we have coming up next? So with that Roche, things are probably going to slow down a little bit for Liquid's ability to play aggressively because Weaver will be very hard for them to kill twice in a row. As a result, we'll probably finish the MKB within not too long. It's about, what's that, about 1,500 off it. Or 2.5k, excuse me. So it will actually take quite a while. But he needs it because he's against Brewmaster and he's against the Radiance from Spectre. That seems like a straightforward thing. And something we haven't really talked about in this game is break, right? That was a conversation from last game against the Spectre where we ended up seeing it coming out in the Spirit Breaker. Who's going to buy Silver Edge on Radiant's lineup this game? Night Stalker?
I've seen it on Tiny before.
Tiny
mid.
could.
It's kind of meh, but
it can work, of course.
I mean, eventually you get the Ags, right? So you have crit anyway. And,
yeah.
But then, like, that's kind of, you're doing that from afar a lot of the time. But
that's why it gets awkward, right?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Get Toro out of there.
Oh, maybe he felt a little bit. He felt a little bit extra confident because of the Aegis, and maybe thought they weren't even going to try. But Liquid are shying away from the fight there.
Collapse has his shard. The eating of creeps.
Yeah. Eyeing up a nullifier into Dagger currently.
A 3k lead for Liquid. He might have an engagement here. Smoke screen again with the Spectral Dagger. Man, he is just stuck in place. Cannot do anything. There's still the Aegis, of course, on the side of Spirit. Already half HP is the Weaver. There's the initiation from Laurel, but he's going to get glimpsed back out right off the bat. And that's going to break things up for the time being. 3 minutes still on this Aegis. Spirit trying to force something.
Yeah, Collapse wants to steal the Wisdom Rune here. That'll be a pretty big steal. He's pinging it out. He has perfect vision of this, so there will be the scan coming out from Liquid.
Oh,
but
he
will be too late.
Fight.
Actually, he didn't. Okay.
He did not go for it. He wants Insania instead. Crippling Fear now onto 2. They can get the Primal Split, man. They can do it. He cannot get off his ult. 50 seconds dead for Zai. That is a huge ultimate not available for the side of Liquid. They're going to lose Grimstroke, though, to start things out. And Nisha getting pursued. Already at half HP. He's taking so much damage. Weaver just rips him a new one, but Laurel dies shortly after. Lots of trades on both sides. Toro pop the BKB. Sunstrike not going to clip. Looks like the Ghost Scepter's there for Boxy, but will eventually die.
And a good exchange again for, I say again, a good exchange that time around for Spirit. They basically equalized the game in terms of net worth, and starting to see this Weaver really pop off in the fights. And I guess most importantly for them, Laurel is significantly overtaking Nisha right now. It's kind of flatlined a little bit. Nisha was running this game, and a couple of fights in a row now, they've been able to isolate and kill off this Riki, who's kind of struggling to find a footing. As soon as he gets Crippling Fear or get caught by the Tiny, you don't have any BKB, can't really guaranteed reset and get out of there. So he's very much dependent on other heroes causing chaos, and the #1 chaos creator in his team was the first hero to die. Namely Zai, not getting that primal split off was huge. And honestly, Collapse's choice to scout the Wisdom Rune, see it spawn and then not go for it, and instead go for this jump was instrumental in this outcome. So very good decision making on his part. He's now rocking a shield, 4,000 health on him effectively with that right now. Well, we'll lose it all to Spectre Illusions.
Yep, very normal.
But
still quite tanky and looks beautiful. The glowing white is, ooh. Does this surprise you at all? That's a little bit more in favor of Liquid than I thought. This feels like a 50-50 game. I mean, it is a Spectre.
Gaben loves Spectre. It's always
true.
I think any game that's even on gold minute 30, Dota Plus will always favor the Spectre team. I don't think I've ever seen it not favor Spectre in this late. I mean, it is a monstrous late game hero, right? And I guess the sample size and how these games go, maybe not the biggest, but
Really hates Weaver, probably.
Is under attack.
And Blink Dagger now online for Collapse. So the Blink Crippling Fear, if you can get the Brewmaster during that time, this is where like an Eon Disc becomes really valuable. Force that from afar, from a teammate. He just has to get off Primal Split in these fights for them to have a chance.
He's going BKB, so he's going BKB Pipe Octarine, which is a very, very defensive build, right? You don't get that offensive aura, for example, and Assault Cuirass, but maybe this is just necessary for him. Aeon Disc doesn't give you the safety either, because Weaver is one of the carries that doesn't mind buying Nullifier whatsoever, so he could just stick on you and kill you and cripple. And you know Night Stalker is also likely to buy that item, so yeah, probably BKB is the right choice, but it doesn't feel great for Zai to have to itemize like this. I'm sure he would way rather get something else.
AK trying to TP out. He's going to be spotted, though. Already at half health. All he can do is stand his ground, but eventually does die.
That is
big kill for Spirit.
Real big. He was on a 7 kill streak. The kill bounty actually going Miposhka's way. I wonder what he's going to buy with this.
Aghanim.
Currently only has that Glimmer, but that big kill bounty, he has the Philosopher's Stone. He's going to be working towards something bigger now, presumably.
I mean, Ags would be really good this game.
Oh, yeah.
Get the illusion of the Spectre. Collapse, going to find another target, this time Insania. Popping that Ghost Scepter, but only going to buy him a little bit of time. The Spirit trying to create as much space as possible, although Roshan cannot spawn for another 2 minutes in the fastest form. And Yataro with the Alacrity applied, tier 2 tower their way. And Yataro is starting to get a lot of items. He's running out of room in his inventory.
Yeah, grabbed himself a Defiant Chill as well, so.
Oh god, yeah, that's
a lot of armor, even more attacks. So you see the Geminate attack, but then if they fight back, he attacks again.
That's right.
Oh, he is really putting some pressure on Zai, just showing who's boss right now. Tier 3 neutrals do we have coming to the other side? So we have the Elven Tunic on Spectre, which isn't that impactful against Weaver, who already has the True Strike of MKB. Quiver on Willow, another Elven Tunic on Ricky. And man, this MKB is very good right now, I have to say.
Tormy time for Spirit. This will be their final shard, so Mira will get it, unless there's a bug in the game and it goes to Team Liquid.
I mean, they could still lose the fight.
Yeah, they are losing it horribly. As Collapse refuses to give up. Cannot stand this building. You must vanquish it. Miposhka with one more Inkswell will run away in shame, knowing that he cannot stand up to the great cube. The game cube has been conquered, though, and Mira will take the shard. So now you have the pull effect on EMP.
Yep.
Maybe the most annoying shard in the entire game, if I do say so myself. Very good.
Yeah, also increases the damage, which, you know, every little bit helps, but mainly the pull is the primary appeal of that one. Certainly a 6k lead now for Spirit. The Tormentor is so strong. Like they almost lost that one 3v1. They had to swap out heroes, call in the bench to barely win.
That GameCube had God mode activated. Yataro's going to show himself on the wave and get out of there.
Very high pressure situation, and it feels like the game is a little bit, it's not exactly on a knife's edge right now. Like the Spectre team, obviously, even being behind can find a big fight, but the writing on the wall here is that the next winner of a fight will probably get Roche too. So you got to be very, very cautious with how you pick your fights, and vision is really the deciding factor in this game. One team playing with the Ricky to find heroes and set up his team for success, the other team with the Night Stalker with a gem. And Invoker, of course, and Ghostwalk. Information at plenty. You got to react real fast when these heroes drop out of invisibility.
Silver Edge for Laurel, so they have the break to take out Mickey.
Yep.
And it will be the action. Okay.
They're both gating.
Yep, he pops his BKB, but he's already at half health. Gets off the avalanche, trying to... Oh, okay.
Limps? Not quite.
Okay, the BKB was still there.
Close. Yeah.
If you time that just right, it can be devastating. But the BKB is down.
Nice TP from Laurel as well. He TP'd the moment the Basher stopped proccing, because then he has a very high chance of not getting a second bash on him, so he did get out of that one. But quite a funny
Roche is coming up soon. Collapse wants to take a fight. They're trying to play all their pressure to the Spectre, but they don't have the break with them right now. As Mira taking the brunt of the damage from Nisha on this ring. He's pop his BKB, wants to finish off the Invoker. He does so successfully. Now That's an instant buyback from him. As Nisha, only with one smoke screen to go, Collapse just trying to bash him down. He will do so. They will buy him back immediately, though. And now, continuing on the fight, is Boxy dies inside that kinetic field. Mickey trying to apply some pressure to Laurel. He's already had health, but there's the break. Can they finish off the Spectre? But no, not going to be enough damage. At least not yet. But jumping in is Collapse to try to finish the job. But there's the Manta style, keeping him alive. Yatoro, though, very healthy, will claim the kill for himself. Now focusing on Zai, whose Primal Split is already down. Barely lives to the last Geminate attack. Big Sunstrike coming out. Double kill for Yatoro. And just like that, I mean, effectively it's a 4v3 right now, but there were some buybacks coming out.
It's a dieback on Ricky. Nisha's game really starting to go down the drain here. He is now 6th on net worth, behind every other core. Mid Ricky, we said it when the game began, it's a very snowball-y hero, and he was off to a good start, but as big as that snowball became, it kind of just came crashing down, and he just lost all of his advantage. And this game to me right now, it's all Yatoro and Collapse just flat out overpowering them, just kiting them around these fights, outlasting the Primal Split, outlasting the Ricky damage. Yatoro with the Satanic, effectively second life in that fight, and Collapse just keeps playing the angles with the ult. So beautifully executed from Spirit. Now 12k up. And if last game is anything to go by, Weaver is not struggling with killing Spectre late game as long as there's a break in play. So
yep, true.
You don't have to worry if you're a Spirit fan that they're going to run out of firepower. Tiny is also a little bit of a wild card in that regard. Sure, he's the one applying the Silver Edge, but he could technically Silver Edge hit and then get a couple of trees off with his BKB volley.
And force out Zai's BKB already. Yatoro will take that. He obviously still has his Aegis, so we'll stand trying against the tower. Mickey coming in. They do a lot of damage to Yatoro, but he's going to be able to live through this onslaught. He's going to get glimpsed back, though. Satanic there as well. Satanic healing up nice and sound. Going for a potential kill onto Zai now instead. How is he still alive? This is basically a 4v1. Yatoro and Shikuchi's away very safely as Collapse buying some time. With that crippling fear, as the Primal Split is used from Zai, and if they can't get anything out of this, it'll be a disaster for Liquid.
Got a BKB.
Comes back, but the BKB's there, and they effectively get no kills. They do force out a BKB or two,
yeah,
but that's a big ult down.
Losing that split could potentially open the door, but Yatoro decided to TP back to base, so he's going to continue farming up. Approach that level 25, which is even more of a damage boost for him. We've seen how hard he's hitting already. With another Geminate attack. Or the Shikuchi talent if he wants that one. Both talents are incredibly good. Shikuchi dropping from 6 to 3.5 second cooldown with that talent allows you to position yourself in the fight very quickly and keep being mobile. But I reckon he's probably going to take the Geminate attack and just try to overpower them during the CC.
Plus, that's going to be more effective at sieging high ground anyway.
Yep. Oh man, Weaver with Alacrity seems to be something. He is so strong. Okay, they find Mickey here. He's immediately going to jump out.
Yep, looks like he's fine. Dodge the bullet there. And Liquid going to try to defend this eventual push. Still 2.5 minutes on the Aegis, so they don't have to rush this from the Spirit side. The items are starting to be a little bit too crazy from Spirit. I mean, from Laurel alone, we talked about that Silver Edge. His Ags, he hasn't purchased any components yet, but he's almost done with it. Zai can be found by Collapse and have to BKB. He's going to be fine as a result. Mickey, oh, he actually finds him with the Avalanche. Inkswan's coming as well. Going to pop that Manta, get stunned out outright. Do they have the damage to take him out? There's the Silver Edge break, and with Collapse there to hold him down, that is a very big kill. 80 seconds of no Mickey.
Nobody nearby from his team to help him there. Got to wonder if that was maybe a little bit too aggressive of a position to be farming in the current game state. All of the top side of the map was completely free and available for him, but was playing in that bottom half with no backup. And that one hurts. He has no buyback. I mean, Spirit don't know this for a fact. If they knew, I think it's Elena Barracks. Honestly, I don't see how you take a fight ever without Spectre alive. You can try to stall it out, but Yatoro has already shown to be way too overpowering. And with now that level 25 talent, he might honestly be able to almost one-shot supports before they even have time to react. So really got to be on your toes here.
Yeah, they're definitely playing it safe. I mean, even if they force the buyback, this is a hero that just gets into the fight so fast. But still, I mean, they have that Aegis, so it feels like this next minute, or now, when you want to try to push the envelope if you're Spirit. The delay tactics from Liquid, glimpsing. Gintaro in the base now, focusing on the buildings. Alacrity's there as well. As Collapse pops his ult onto the high ground they go. These buildings melt. 7 seconds for Mickey to come back.
Yeah, Collapse hits for 500. We're talking about Yataro's damage, but this Night Stalker is no joke either.
Yeah, boom, boom. Down goes the melee racks. See if they back away. Still 30 seconds on this Aegis, so they don't really have to if they don't want to, but disciplined play from Spirit in this crucial game number 3. Winner of this top 3 at TI. Loser goes to the loser's bracket, or the lower's bracket, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Mickey with the Shadow Step, able to find a support in the form of Miposhka.
Yeah, he didn't last long. Just immediate reality and then Abyssal. Just blast him. You're not going to survive that as Grimstroke unless you have any Undisk here. The kill is just way too quick, so at the very least, Liquid open up a little bit here. Now the question is if they can capitalize on it. They're trying to with this smoke, but Spirit being very careful with their positioning. Unlikely to get any more heroes caught here.
Zai just pushing out the lanes, knowing that this tier 2 tower, I think this is their last outer tower. Trying to protect that at all costs. Mickey working on a Scotty. Already 1 ultimate orb in if he wants to purchase it.
I wonder if this is the best item to buy here. I think it's kind of difficult because arguably you also really want either a Nullifier or a Bloodthorn, so you can just go in, isolate targets and kill them. But maybe he feels like he needs a little bit of an all-around tankiness as well from this Scotty, but yeah. This is a game where Spectre needs to get 6 slotted if Liquid want to have any hope, and there's still quite a bit to cover for that. Still rocking an Urn. I would love to replace that one. This is I mean, he's, all things considered, I want to say relatively poor on the spec in this game. He has almost 400 CS and still...
Well, compared to Spirit, yeah, of course.
Yeah, but also just when Spectre has this many creeps and this KDA, I feel like usually the hero has a little bit more to show for it 43 minutes in. Like, I would think this Urn would have been replaced already, so I wonder where all that gold went. I mean, that's just them being cornered in the base, right? He's probably getting some lower quality CS as well in terms of just overall net worth, not killing the Ancients, not getting bigger creeps. So it might be a little bit misleading.
Spirit, we'll see if they want to just wait for Roche. Another minute away. We'll see a smoke from Liquid, though. Gem still on Collapse. I feel like he has not died in quite a while. He's had that for a really long time.
Yeah.
7, 4, and 10 right now. But probably one of the scariest heroes. The Night Stalker just coming up high ground, walking through terrain with that crippling fear as this tier 2 tower will fall. And Spirit positioning themselves for the Roshan to come. It is a minute until nighttime, so if it's not a fast spawn, it'll end up in the top area of the map. See who that ends up benefiting.
Well, I know one hero that likes when it's nighttime.
True.
I have my favorite for that type of fight.
I mean, he has his ult anyway, so at this stage it doesn't really matter.
But even if, I mean, it means that if the fight extends really long, he still will have an inherent advantage. I'm gonna gate up here. Maybe try to get a flank move going. They do have a smoke on
the really fast Roche. 8 seconds.
Oh, Mira gets caught immediately.
Yeah, deleted. Does have buyback, so that's a long respawn timer, though. You might have to buy back if you want to contest Roche. There, the crippling fear initiation from Collapse with a Nullifier, bringing Dark Willow down to her knees. Boxy's dead. Now Collapse standing his ground against Nisha, doesn't really care about anybody. Primal Split already activated. Laurel swiftly killing a couple of them. He's going to get pursued. He's going to get dusted, in fact. Now he's kind of all alone. He's going to get Abyssal Bladed by Mickey inside that Static Storm. Now big kill for Liquid. No buyback for Laurel at all. They do find Ricky on the other side, so big trade for the likes of Team Spirit. And then Mickey trying to run away, being pursued. Nullifier with the blink from Collapse. Double kill for Yatoro, and Roche will be joining you very shortly.
And despite having that Ag Static Storm, if they don't have the Ag Static Storm, I think Tiny doesn't die. He couldn't use the cheese, right? So that could have been big for Liquid, but it's just not enough. Ricky keeps being traded away in every fight. Spirit are on top of him, and now they're going to try to siege the high ground once again. And with these buybacks unavailable, this is absolutely the second lane.
Oh, yeah.
They could probably get second lane plus Roche here. We'll see if they try to fight over more than that, if they want to try to get Megas even. I mean, Weaver pushes stupidly hard right now. It's a very, very quick push.
That backdoor protection doesn't matter.
Oh, all right.
Like the old Dota 1 days. Now the backdoor protection's gone. This is second lane of racks for Team Spirit.
That took 10 seconds. They could get Megas here for sure. He's not going to back off.
50 seconds of no Spectre, 30 of no Ricky. It's just a Brewmaster and 2 supports.
They're going to keep glimpsing it back.
The damage is still applied. It could be global for all he cares. The delay tax is coming from Liquid again. The BKB pop from Collapse. They have the win in their sights. They take out the tier 3, but now backing away.
Yep, Primal Split. They're gonna respect that with the Ricky respawning. And this means now in the upcoming fight, if there is one, Spirit will be inherently favored once again with that advantage. No Primal Split.
Oh, it means they can just go for Roche.
They're gonna have Ascension, exactly. So it's not even gonna be a fight. But if there were to be one, Liquid would be wise to stay away from this one.
Roche wants to leave, knowing what fate is coming for him.
God, this
There's the
damage.
Aghanim Scepter, by the way.
Wild.
Yeah, so that is going to be
all right.
The Aegis, the cheese, and now Refresher Shard, which Collapse is going to hold for the time being.
They just instantly eat the cheese. Did I hear a cheese?
Well, there's still a cheese on Tiny.
Yeah, well, we have that already, right? I think they instantly ate that cheese.
He was really hungry. He definitely ate it.
Right. Sometimes you're just hungry.
Okay.
What do you know?
It happens. Well, Aghanim Scepter now there for Maposhka, by the way. We talked about this as a potential thing. His Dark Portrait.
Well, they find Miro.
He bought back recently. So that's technically a dieback, 5v4.
They need to hurry back to base, though. This is fast.
Range Rax is going to die with one more right click. In fact, they might be just going for the kill. Just Collapse getting the crippling fear. There's the Abyssal Blade as well. Is that enough damage to actually get a kill here? As Mickey trying to limp back to his fountain, but Laurel and company forcing out the fortification. Now Laurel looks like he's going to be the sacrifice for Team Spirit. So they don't get what they came for, but they did force a fortification.
Yeah, Weaver needs 4 free seconds, and this is Megas. Honestly, Yatoro could maybe Shukuchi in there, pop BKB, and just go for it, but playing it really safe here.
Yeah, true.
Not going to take that risk. Collapse looked to have the opposite opinion. He popped his BKB trying to commit, but they ended up kind of having to back out. Or rather, no, actually, he didn't pop his BKB. He popped his BKB to escape away from the glimpse, so I take that back. They were kind of on the same page that was a reset. And now Liquid, will you try to do something with this 5-on-3? Buyback available on Tiny. Spirit, just get the hell out of here. They're not going to stick around. The risk is too high. There isn't enough to obtain by forcing this fight. You know you are this close to top 3. It's just one fight. They might not even need to fight. They just need to get to the base.
Yeah, I mean, look at the top lane. It's already pretty pushed, so
yeah, Mickey has to take care of this.
As Mickey's going to show himself, push out these lanes. As you're right, especially without that fortification, it's just a freebie if Weaver's in your base. But Liquid, they want to do some base pushing of their own. They're sick of being stuck in their own. Okay.
Holy!
Getting surrounded and destroyed. Does have his buyback intact.
He was not ready for that jump.
Everything out here. The Primal Split taking out the tier 3 tower in the bot lane and now focusing on the barracks. Team Spirit, are you going to lose a barracks after all of this? Collapse, again, still has his buyback available. Primal Split is ending, though, so not a whole lot of tower damage after the fact.
His Dark Portrait is effectively forcing them out. Look at him. Oh, my God.
That's pretty strong.
Yep.
Won't lie. Doesn't it do more damage than Spectre?
That's about the same, I think.
Right? I need to read this again. 150% outgoing damage, so yes. It's strong, man.
Yep.
So the barracks will remain for Spirit, and the buyback as well for Collapse, which is definitely the bigger deal at this stage of the game. Doesn't need to use it.
Yeah.
Still, that does put a bit of pressure onto Spirit, because now you got 45 seconds, you got to wait. That takes it off the Aegis, so it's essentially a minute to work with the Aegis.
If Collapse hadn't died there, this... Oh. Okay.
That was creeps. He was killing creeps.
Yeah, I mean, I just heard a really loud sound. I was like, what the hell was that?
Okay, just
No, I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry.
Oh, Zai. Zai. Zai's going to be spotted. Yataro's like, oh, there's a panda here. Forcing out the BKB. Zai still doesn't seem too bothered by this.
That's a decent chunk of Spirit's lead that was lost there in that exchange. Liquid got a couple of towers. They got a big kill. Suddenly starting to feel within reach for them once again. And if they can outlast the Aegis and take one good team fight, all of a sudden this can start getting really, really interesting. Spirit are probably going to try to force this bottom barracks within the next minute, I would imagine. They really want to just escort this creep wave that they've got coming. I think Liquid is not going to let them reach the base. They will try to take this fight outside. Smoked up on Brewmaster with a ninja gear.
Butterfly now secure for Mickey, despite Yatoro having MKB.
Going to get to the base. Too worried about the implications of this fight. Our Spirit try to keep it calm.
I mean, they should know that there's still no fortification, but I think, yeah, going for the bulldoze approach, maybe not best. You don't have a Spirit Breaker. That was a joke. Thanks, Syndra.
Yes.
Okay. Very tense moment now.
One guy in the audience liked it.
We all digest that great joke. Time of death, whatever, 51 minutes, 40 seconds in this Dota game. Tormy's available. Nobody's thinking about that, though, other than me. 9K lead for Spirit, which at this stage, not very much, but the building advantage definitely in their favor. Collapse popping the ult, looking for Zai. Crippling Fear is there. Pops the BKB. That's all they wanted to get out of it. Nisha trying to go on top. You can see Abyssal Blade onto Laurel, stuck inside the static sword, but pops his BKB of his own and will walk away safely. Everyone just trying to wait out this primal split now. As Collapse looking for Nisha. Nullifier still applied as Laurel kind of just stuck in place. He's going to eat the cheese to survive. Nisha's dead, though, as Collapse basically soloed him. Does have the buyback available. See if he expends it at this moment. Looks like Mickey's going to be next on the list, though.
No buyback on him.
That's big. No buyback for him, so that's a 4v5 essentially with the buyback now coming out from Nisha. Collapse. Looking for the kill onto Zai. Tornado for the time being already at half HP. He's just melting under the pressure. And that's another hero without buyback on the Liquid side. Effectively 5 versus 3. And all is open for Spirit to potentially take this game number 3. A couple more right clicks and down go the rest of the buildings. Mega Creep secured for Team Spirit. And now going for the tier 4s. That's the last fortification for Liquid now. Yatoro just using Satanic to take off Cursed Crown, not even caring about anybody. It's so much building damage. Already both tier 4s down to static, started putting all their efforts onto the Weaver. Laura literally ignoring everybody along with Collapse as they will take down the Ancient and Team Spirit secure themselves top 3.
What a great game. Especially the first 20 to 25 minutes. These teams were so evenly matched. Every single fight was trading of kills. Nobody really truly dropping the ball, but in the later moments of this game, some of the clutch moments, a couple of pickoffs on the Spectre really slowed him down. Nisha very much lost the advantage that he had early on, and Spirit just kept the ball rolling. And I think, in essence, the biggest difference in this game, I want to say, is the amount of core deaths that end up happening on the side of Liquid, right? You've got 10 deaths on Ricky, you've got 7 deaths on the Spectre, and sure, Laurel has got 9 on him, but only 4 on the Weaver and 5 on the Night Stalker. The lowest death hero in the game having 4 deaths is,
It was a bloodbath.
It was absolutely a bloodbath, and these two teams, I mean, there's no saying they won't meet again, but at least for today, Team Spirit, the stronger team, guaranteeing top 3, and well-deserved. What a great series. Both teams, I don't think anyone is really disappointed with the level of play that was shown today.
Another team goes to the lower bracket that are ridiculously high skill. I mean, they had such a good year in Team Liquid, so I'm sure they're not done quite yet. But yeah, it's quite a performance here from Team Spirit. I think that game particularly, Collapse's Night Stalker created so much space. I feel like that hero can kind of be it can be a blessing in disguise, or it can be terrible. But the Ricky was what didn't work out for Team Liquid. Let's see what the panel has to say about this series overall, as Team Spirit again